What's up, y'all? Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to everybody who's been checking me out for a long time now. I've been on the YouTubes for a couple years, and I've been doing pretty okay with the fan base. Got up to a couple hundred subscribers, which ain't too shabby for what I do, so I definitely appreciate that. But as you can see, if you look down at my trusty odometer, if you can see it here on the camera or on the Insta360, I am at 24,999 miles, and very shortly here I will be hitting 7th gear because I can't shift, and I will be hitting 25,000 miles. So of course it's time for me to do my 25,000 mile review. Shut my wind hole, maybe that'll help. And yeah, I don't have too much else to say other than the things I've already said on the previous reviews, but in case you weren't around for those, of course I will stick the links. And there we go, hit 25k on a bike that I've had since June of 2017, and shortly thereafter I was deployed for about 7 months, so I didn't get a lot of riding in. So I'm thinking from 2018 to August 18th, 2021, 25,000 miles is not too bad, especially for a Michigan rider when I can only ride a few months out of the year because Michigan. Anywho, the bike is awesome. Of course, if you haven't seen my previous reviews, I will post the links up in this video and you can check them out if you so wish. I did miss one milestone. I believe it was the 10,000 mile review. I think I did 5. No, I think I did 15. 5, 10. I don't know. I missed one of them and I was like, dang. Oh well. But anyway, the bike still performs amazingly. It still runs like a champ. She doesn't stutter, sputter, cough, wheeze, or nothing. Starts up the first time, every time. Still on the stock battery. The only issue I've ever had is because I have the aftermarket lights on this bike, and of course they have a Bluetooth module. I'm going to get off the freeway so I can stop yelling. And the Bluetooth module can drain the battery. It's kind of like a parasitic drain on the bike. I mean, I know what it is, so it's not like I can't find it. It's the Bluetooth module. It's always on, broadcasting a signal so that I can connect to it with my phone to control my lights and change them various colors if I want. And yeah, that little puppy, after 2 or 3 days, I would say 3 or 4 days, it will drain the battery enough to where I can't kick out enough cold cranking amps to start the bike. But if I hit the hard switch and then let this sit for a week, the bike will start up like a champ. I always put it on the battery tender during the winter. Do not take my battery inside anymore, just because my online research and talking with some people who know batteries a lot more than me, as long as the thing maintains the charge and does not go below a certain level for this type of battery, it's good to go. And I've never had a problem, not once. And I've had this battery, it's the stock battery, for a 5-year-old, 4-year-old bike, whatever, do the math. 2021, 2017, 4 years old. Yeah, so let's go over the bike once again. But before we do all the yipping and the yapping, let's just take. We're going to turn the music up. We're going to take a look at our heroine, the heroine of this story, good old Onyx. We're going to take a little walk around and just you can see the awesome. Because sometimes you just need to be reminded. Now that you've seen how awesome this bike is and how pretty she is, you know you love it, you know you want one, let's just talk about it. So this thing still rides smooth, power delivery smooth, braking is smooth. I used to did not like the braking, couldn't talk straight. Didn't like the braking at first when I got this bike. I was so used to my Ninja 650 and my other Ninja 650, of course. And the braking on those bikes were very sharp. I did not have ABS. This bike does not have linked brakes. It does have ABS, and it has not a spongy, but a smooth brake delivery system. I always felt like there was a problem with my brakes. I bled the brake lines, I checked the pads, everything was good to go, but then I read about the Kawasaki intelligent braking system, the KIBS, and it basically does not allow me to brake super hard depending on the angle of the bike, which I've talked about in other videos, of course. But I got used to it over time, and I really do enjoy the braking of this bike. It's smooth, power delivery smooth, like I said before. First gear for any motorcycle, not any, but most larger CC motorcycles can be a little violent. My Benelli, of course, is, I'm not sure what the traffic cone situation is here in Michigan. These things are rampant. It's like chicken pox. I don't know what's going on. So what was I yapping? My yap hole's been distracted, and now I don't know where my place was. Anyway, the power delivery on this, first gear. Power delivery on this thing, first gear, is smooth comparatively. Like my sister bike, the Z1000, the naked version of the Ninja 1000, of course, has no ABS, no intelligent nothing. She's all go all the time. My buddy Jixer owns that bike, and I've ridden it along with plenty other bikes. I've ridden, let me close this. I've ridden MV Augusta, Kawasaki 750, the Vulcan. I've ridden the MT-09. I can't remember all of them. There are quite a few that I did not review, which I wish I could, and of course a few more that I'm going to add to the repertoire. But in comparison, I still love my bike. This bike is the bike that I wanted. Perfect for me. I still want to ride a Gixxer 750. I heard that bike is smooth as butter and is right perfect. It's like the Goldilocks zone of bikes. You don't need a Gixxer 1000. You don't need a 600. 750 I heard was nice and butter, but I think the position of the seating is too aggressive. I actually heard or talked to someone who wanted to lower the handlebars or the clip-ons for this to make it more of an aggressive seating position like a Hayabusa. I'm like, then why get a Hayabusa? Like, I mean, I know you want a more aggressive seating position for this type of bike, but this is not that aggressive seating position bike. This is more upright, more comfortable, more sport touring sport bike. It is in both categories. But if you want something like that, you might as well go for the ZX6R, the ZX10, which is the more aggressive sister bike of this. It is the race type bike, is a super sport, and it's all set up for go sauce. My bike definitely has go sauce, but it's mild go sauce. It's not hot go sauce. It's mild. Yeah, I can turn it up a little bit, but this thing tops out at 153 miles per hour. Unless you're going downhill, you probably get it up to, 156, 157. Fastest I've ever gone is, of course, the legal speed limit on whichever road that I am driving, and we shan't talk more about that. This, of course, is my second Ninja 1000 because me and my first Ninja 1000 had a minor disagreement on an airport runway service drive, and we parted ways. She got dead, had to get a new one. So I still have a lot of respect for the power of this bike. This is a very powerful bike, no matter how much I say the power delivery is smooth. It is there when you want it. You hit the acceleration and she goes. There's no hesitation. Even though this bike is governed, it still wants to pull, but just not as aggressive as my buddy's Z1000. This bike, of course, excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. This bike, of course, is well maintained. I can only review my bike because it's well maintained. I can't speak to anybody who's got this bike and doesn't maintain it. My bike still runs like a champ because I treat her like a champ. This is the first new vehicle I've ever owned in my life. Car, bike, pedal bike, whatever. This is the first new vehicle. Got it with 0 miles twice, technically. And every mile that's been put on this bike has been put on this bike by me. I maintain the tires. She's had 3 sets of tires now, stock plus 2 sets of aftermarket. 1 set of aftermarket brakes. They're still in good shape. I'm not a very aggressive braker. I like to use both the front and the rear brake to get that smooth, even stopping because I've increased my skills, and I don't just mash on the front brake just because the front brake does provide such a large amount of braking power, 70% and up. Doesn't mean I always have to use only that. I like to use them both, just like this situation here. Settles the bike, keep the bike even, and if you use the front brake all the time, it causes the bike to depress. Now if I look, front brake still depressed, I'm going to release, nothing. If I was to stop really, really hard, the forks, of course, would depress, and then it would be a harder stop, maybe causing a stoppie, but this bike has preventative measures to stop that stoppie. Stop the stoppie. Anyway, have not checked the fork oil. I should. I don't know how to change or check the fork oil. It's going to be one of those things I add to my skill repertoire. I have upgraded the air filter. It's a little more breathy, a little more pass-through, so it does affect the fuel economy. The bike has had its appropriate oil changes. I like to keep my brake fluid crispy and clean. That's just a thing of mine. I do not like that tea-looking brake fluid. Keeps the bike stopping crisp and smooth. I do check the brake pads regularly. I check the rotors regularly. Still stock rotors. Haven't changed them once. Still stock chain, stock rims. I don't know if that makes a difference for anybody, but I have not done any performance upgrades to this bike to make it even better than it already is, because I cannot max this bike out at my skill level as a rider. Of course, she's had a couple configuration changes of the exhaust. If you can hear how the exhaust sounds now compared to how it sounded originally in some of my earlier videos, and then how it sounded on, I don't know, revision 2 of the exhaust, where I only had the exhaust, where I had the straight through pipes, when I got my Akrapovic pipes, Akrapovic, and I since then made a revision 3 when I made my own homemade mufflers / silencers out of my Vezenheis tips, which they of course don't make anymore. I'm super angry about that, because if I ever have an issue, I really like these tips because the bike looks fantastic. Of course, she's got custom levers, my little added things on the mirror so I can see blind spots. She's gone through a set, or 1, 2. I took the stock grips off, put new grips on, and I have since changed those new grips to these grips a few weeks ago. Had the appropriate coolant change, the appropriate spark plug change. I have not checked the valve clearances because I don't know how to do that. I'm going to add that skill to the repertoire as well. But I keep the chain clean and maintained. I keep the oil changed. Coolant change was on time, a little bit late. Spark plug change was a little bit late, but well within what I believe was an okay window. I didn't go too far over. I check my bike every single day. I keep the cables, clutch cable and throttle cable, lubricated properly. I give her regular baths, and she in turn performs like a champ. Of course, this bike, I believe like many other bikes, enjoys the cold. This humid Michigan weather sometimes gets a little hot in the frame. Of course, I learned later that it's part of the engineering for this bike and many others. It gets really hot because it's trying to disperse the heat of the engine, of course, to protect the engine. Sometimes this baby starts to cook the giblets, and I got to get moving. But of course, if there's any cooler weather, of course, now that I have newer coolant in it, the temperatures have lowered. I don't run into that issue anymore. And like I said, this bike is just awesome. The headlights are still bright and shiny. She's still gleaming like I just got her off the showroom floor, except for a couple little dents and dings. I got a couple little paint chips there. No idea what happened. I got one the other day, and it's pretty upsetting because I love the paint job on this bike. But anywho, guys, that's enough yapping. I just wanted to get a quick review about this bike at 25,000 miles, just to keep you informed of what's going on with this baby and how I still feel about her after 4 years and 25K. That quick review turned into me yapping for about 7 miles, but whatevs. You guys know how to fast forward. So if you'd like the content, go ahead and click that thumbs up, subscribe, buy an Insta360, use my links. It costs you nothing. It gives me a couple dollars, which is always nice. I can get a couple little snacks, maybe get some more toys to make better content for videos in the future. Oh, not to mention, this bike has posed for thousands of pictures, literally. Only a couple hundred of them make it to Instagram, but you got to check it out on Instagram. You got to check out that exclusive Instagram content. Click the links in the bio, links in the description, links in my banner. Click it. It's free. Check it out. So this bike, of course, is very photogenic, which is another thing I love about this bike. Some bikes are, I don't know, better ridden and not seen. I'm not going to talk about anybody specific, but some of them are like, you know somebody's got an ugly baby, but you don't want to tell them. This bike's out there like that. Somebody got the ugly baby. Anywho, thank you guys for watching once again. Thank you guys for subscribing. And I will catch you guys later.